this evening. So welcome to our meeting of September 22nd, 2020. Please permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Erin Boucher.
Present.
Keith Baldinger.
Present.
Bob Cox.
Present.
Patrick Collins.
Present.
Chris Girardi. Kevin Mizikar.
Present.
Joe Sawyer.
Present.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Valerie Clementi.
Present.
Anticipated speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. Deb Shear.
Present.
Walter Hartley.
Present.
Sean Brennan.
Present.
Katie Crockett.
Present.
David Fontaine Jr. Frank Payer.
Present.
Okay, this open meeting of the Beal Building Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Beal Building Committee is convening by Google Meet as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen or watch the meeting may do so by dialing 1-919-525-2192 and entering the following PIN, 572-084-810#, or by visiting www.shrewsburymediaconnection.org. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, Vice Chair, will introduce each board member or staff member who has the lead role for this particular item or guest speaker associated with this item on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members first and then to staff members, inviting each by name to provide any comment or questions. I will then call upon the members to offer a motion and then for a second. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute and unmute your phone by pressing *6 or mute your computer when you are not speaking as to not trigger your camera, feed, or background noise. First on the agenda, we have our meeting minutes from July 28th, 2020 and August 25th, 2020. Are there any changes or corrections? Hearing none, may I have a motion to accept the Beal Early Childhood Center Building Committee meeting minutes for July 28th, 2020 and August 25th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote is required. Erin Boucher.
Aye.
Keith Baldinger.
Aye.
Bob Cox.
Aye.
Patrick Collins.
Aye.
Kevin Mizikar.
Aye.
And Joe Sawyer.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, under project financial documentation, Mr. Hartley will provide a review of the project contingency status. Is Walter still with us?
Yes, I thought I was on, not on mute. So I just wanted to, I thought I was unmuted. I wanted to go through, Kevin, I don't know if you had forwarded the email I sent you earlier today to the committee members or not.
No, I did not. Sorry about that, Walter.
No, that's okay. I didn't know if we were going to do it that way, but I will go right through it. So the way PMA tracks owner's contingency and GMP contingency and holds and allowances, our owner's contingency is separate from holds and allowances and CM contingency or GMP contingency. The first bucket, which is owner's contingency, has roughly $4.3 million in it for the start of the project. That was via the MSBA's 3011 that was agreed upon. Currently through change orders 1, 2, and 3, tracked against that and forecasted items, there's about $75,000. So that's a 1.75% expenditure against that, and we're over 50% of the way through the project. It is extremely low for a typical project, and the owner's contingency is in great shape for this project. The second piece of this would be the GMP contingency or CM contingency, the holds and the allowances. And the way that's tracked through PMA is that all of those are tracked as one bucket. And if you remember when we did the GMP, we were going to buy out the remainder of the project as we move through. To date, there are 2 remaining packages to be bought out. So what is in the bucket to be expended for the GMP contingency holds and allowances will be reduced by that on the overall. It's about $7.34 million. So there's two packages that are going to be bought out. That is projectors and signage. We're very close to wrapping those up, and they're about $200,000 and $100,000 respectively. So we'll end with about $7 million in that bucket. To date, we have about $911,000 tracked against that. And the reason that those numbers are high when you say them out loud is because we are inclusive of the scope finalization for the site work. So we bought out the early site package. That was about $315,000 that we utilized as we moved through. So of that 900, 315 is that. Another almost $400 is the Lake Street sidewalk extension. We are very close to wrapping that up paperwork-wise for the construction of that to start. I would say within the next few weeks. We're very close to getting the paperwork back over to Fontaine to get a go-ahead on that. So that's about $700,000 of that $900,000. The remaining items for those inside of that bucket are items that we knew that we were going to be expending against. We carried money in the GMP for it. The way PMA looks at it is that all holds and allowances and GMP contingency should be expected to be expended because they are within the GMP, and whatever's left is really just a positive for the town. Right now, we are trending in a very positive way on buyouts. We're trending in a very positive way on GMP, CM contingency, and on holds and allowances in general. And then against soft costs, we have nothing tracked, which is anything to do with something that's not within the building. It's design or some type of design work that may need to happen for any number of reasons. But we have $777,000 in that bucket, and we have no expenditures against that. So I can open that up to any questions anyone has, but overall we are I would put us better than average and above average for all categories and for this project against any other project.
Great. Thank you, Walter. Any questions or comments?
Cindy, if I could.
Sure.
Yeah, so I appreciate this update from Walter. Sometimes we get caught up in approving these 1 or 2 change orders here and there, and it's certainly good to track it this way. We're in such a favorable position with this project, and the committee's done a really good job of overseeing it, and certainly the design team did well at the beginning to help put us in this position. And so it's certainly not time to be popping the champagne or cutting the ribbon. We have a long way to go construction-wise, but it's a nice update, more than 50% of the way through construction, and very pleased where we are financially with the management of this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Walter.
Thank you.
Okay, next is review and act on the following bill schedules and warrants. We have the following bills. Fontaine Brothers, Inc., requisition number 19, $3,479,378. LPAA, Inc., invoice 1717-2008 for $69,545. PMA Consultants, LLC, invoice number 04110-38 for $64,505.83. And AppGeo invoice 21214 for $430. Are there any questions or comments on these bills? Hearing none, may I have a motion that we approve the bills as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second, we need a roll call vote. Ms. Boucher,
Aye.
Mr. Baldinger,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mr. Collins,
Aye.
Mr. Girardi,
Aye.
Mr. Mizikar,
Aye.
Mr. Sawyer,
Aye.
and myself, aye. Thank you. Okay, next we will hear reports and review and act on the following matters. We will have a report from the owner's project manager, and I'll turn it over to Deb.
Hi, everyone was sent out the standard budget summary dated September 22nd. Going through the contracts, LPA's contract remains the same as last month. PMA's contract remains the same as last month. Fontaine's contract was increased by the $7,630 that we approved under change order 3 at the 8/25 meeting last month. So we have total contract value to date of $82,851,560. All of the invoices through August total $41,991,061. That leaves us a balance to finish with regard to invoicing based on the full project cost of $92,259 of $50,011,098. But as Walter was saying, we are not spending. We don't have encumbered costs or expenditures against all that money as of right now. Encumbered to date is $83,967,824, leaving a remaining project budget of $8,034,335. We have no outstanding propays. They've all been reimbursed. So reimbursed payments to date through reimbursement number 24 from August is $13,790,160. And what we're going to do is the reimbursement in September will include the July invoices approved at the 8/25 meeting and these August invoices to be approved today. So it will be a big reimbursement, number 25 in September. It should generate a pretty large reimbursement. So it'll be a large reimbursement submission, which should generate a large reimbursement to the town of Shrewsbury.
Great. Thank you, Deb. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Thank you. And next we'll have a report from the architect and turn over to Katie and Sean.
Thank you. I'll start with just a quick summary of how things are going. And from our perspective, which is very well, everything's progressing on track. The interior finishes are about 95% selected for the building. If you remember from the original schemes we showed you with color identities for the academic wings, following through with the concept of the exterior of the building into the interior. And the FF&E, furniture, furnishings, and equipment process has also been continuing. We have the same consultant working on both, so they work hand in hand. We have gotten our furniture suggestions together. We're going to be reviewing them in the near future with the school representatives. So when we have that, we plan to present both to you as a committee, showing you how the finishes and the furniture are coordinated. The project itself is we're almost at the halfway mark in terms of the requisition that you just approved, which is a great time in the project where as you walk through the building, you can see partitions in place, brick going up on the exterior, metal panels, and some of the whole flow of the building is starting to form. And Sean, who has been attending, doing site reviews on a regular basis, is going to show you the flyover and give you an overview of what we're seeing out on the site.
Good evening. I am just getting up my screen so you guys can all see what we're sharing. Once again, thank you to Keith Baldinger's department. Everyone sees the video, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. For putting this on and making this available to us. As you can see, the aerial was taken recently on the 13th. And I'm going to kind of walk through it like we typically do. On the left, you're seeing the curved seat wall where that outdoor classroom is going to be right by the major copper beech tree at the northern entry. Sorry? Did someone say something? No, I don't think so. As you see, the building kind of will show itself as you come along the lower drive here, right where you see the large piles of dirt, and that excavator is going to be the play field. The larger volume in the middle with the darker opening, that's the gymnasium volume you're seeing. There's going to be a screen there hiding some of the mechanical units. Coming around in the foreground here is the common room of the kindergarten wing that will open directly to a exterior playground for them on this side. In the lower right, you're seeing a bioswale, part of the water management runoff. The rest of the C wing, which is the kindergarten wings on the upper level here. As we're coming around, you're starting to see the courtyard and the media center, how the media center opens up. So all the openings you see left in the media center in the middle there is going to be all glass. So as you can imagine, the views out towards the west over the Worcester Hills is going to be quite remarkable. Here you're seeing the B wing in the foreground as you're starting to see brick is going up. When we come around here where the student gardens will be, kind of where those mixing towers are in the bottom, it kind of embraces a small little niche between that and the road. And as we come around parent and pickup drop off at this paved play area, there'll be line markings for students to play foursquare, hopscotch. There's kind of a zigzag roadway. And then where these dumpsters are now, there's going to be another permanent playground play structure, rubberized surface. There's the main parking lot. This is taking off from the Shrewsbury Youth Soccer Fields coming up over the building. That slot, that darker slot in the middle is going to be all glass. That's going to be the student entry for parent pickup and drop off. And you're looking out to the north there. There's the front of the building again, the large lobby, L kind of form up and over, carries through the building, admin to the right, kitchens to the left. And what I was going to also do, this going to get a lot of the same views going back and forth. Is I was also going to give you guys, let you see some of the stills so you can really start to take in some of this. So here you see the large beech tree in the lower right. There's that seat wall. So that seat wall is, it's a half crescent. It's going to be a full circle for students to have an outdoor education space and be able to, you know, see out over the Worcester Hills, over Lake Quincy towards UMass. We have the terrace parking lot. There's going to be a sidewalk, pedestrian sidewalk that's directly in line with the lobby of the building. So as you can imagine, a nice kind of clearly designated pedestrian path from the parking lot down into the building. I'm going to go back and show you a couple of the stills here. As you're starting to see Lake Street realignment's already all in place, you're really starting to see the softening of all those contours. Grass is growing in on the westerly side of Lake Street. This is looking south. It's just a remarkable property that you guys were able to place this school on. It is going to be something for generations to come to enjoy. So when you see it in a vantage point like this, it really, really gets you excited about it when it's going to be all finished and the grass is all filled in. Here's another one looking more west. You can see how the building, as we mentioned before, try to break down the scale for the students of this age. 1 story as they kind of walk in, 2 stories as it falls off with the topography. You see the ring road coming around. Remind you that all of the grade on site is less than 5%, so we're fully handicap accessible for all of our sidewalks around the building and up to the outdoor classroom by the large copper beech tree. Here's one kind of looking northeast. And here's one looking a little more north back towards Route 9. As I mentioned before, you can, a little to the left, you can't quite see it right now, but you can see Sherwood from this site also, which is quite remarkable. You see it a little bit more during the winter. Oh, there it is to the far left. There's Sherwood with the large solar collector on the gymnasium, just outside the paved play area. Anyone have any questions?
Not hearing anything. Thank you, Sean and Katie.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Next, we'll have a report from construction manager, and I'll turn it over to Frank.
Hi, guys. Thank you. Everything that you just saw in a video is pretty much what I was going to talk about. Sean did a very good job walking you through it. I will say this, that was taken on a 13th, and if we did the same flyover today, it's significantly different. A lot more masonry up on building B. Windows are going in. The focus right now is to get the building enclosed. All the mechanical disciplines are working in full speed on the inside of the building. We've started painting in a B wing. Acoustic ceiling will be starting soon. We have the main canopy. I'm just trying to touch on a big points for you folks. The main canopy is scheduled for November. We're letting the metal panel people do their thing. And really the focus is to get all the concrete done that we can, all the hardscapes, as much as we can on the outside before the snow flies. Focus on getting the exterior secure and weather tight. And this winter will be, you know, inside, all hands on deck. And then in the spring, just wrap up the outside of the project. As Kevin Metzger said, I'm not quite ready to pop the champagne bottle. I think financially we're in a great spot. We still got a lot more work to do, and everybody's working hard to make it happen.
Great. Thank you, Frank. Any questions or comments?
Sandy,
Frank, I have.
Sandy, if I may.
Go ahead, Keith.
I just want to say, so normally I try to get up to that site about every 2 to 3 weeks to take a walk. I typically call Kevin Smith last minute, and usually in the middle of his lunch, and we meet and we go for a walk. It's been a while since I've been there to spend any time, and last week I went up again, same plan. Called Kevin, met him in about 15 minutes, and we walked through. I'm still amazed when I go there how neat and efficient that project is, and I've been on a lot of them, and that amazes me. And if anybody has the opportunity to take a visit, I would do it now, because it's like walking through a cutaway view of the building. So for me, that's amazing, because I'm seeing all the mechanicals and all the process going all the way through to spaces that are fully sheetrocked. And I think actually I saw a couple spaces that have been painted, like electrical rooms and stuff like that. So it's pretty amazing. And Katie, I'm seeing it now. And Sean, I mean, great work. And you know, Fontaine's keeping a great site. So it's very cool. It's nice to go up there.
Thank you, Keith. Any other comment, question? I have a question for Frank. I have to ask the Jim Kane question. Is there anything that you're concerned about or that's keeping you up at night at this point in this project?
My answer to Jim Kane is everything. Unfortunately, I've been doing this for 37 years, so I have an eye for everything that I can think of that's going to happen. And that's what makes me sane, I guess. But nothing is, the only thing that was weird that we're chasing are the guardrails, believe it or not. The guardrails are pressure treated, and with COVID-19, we're having a bit of a hard time getting those. But if you watch any of the shows, they're saying the same thing with the builders out towards Boston cannot get materials for decks and such. But right now, all our, knock on wood, all the big equipment is accounted for. We have rooftop units are at the rigger's office locally. We're scheduling those for the upcoming month. So I think we're in a good place. I don't like to pop that cork quite yet, but nothing's scaring me.
Okay, great. Good news. Okay, no other question or comments? Thank you for everyone. It looks like everything's on time, moving ahead, moving on schedule, and it looks great. I agree with Keith. I had taken a drive up there just to be nosy and just looked in on the weekend, and it looked amazing. So much since we toured it, and I think that was in May. So much has been done. So thank you, everyone. Anything further? Nothing, not hearing anything. Okay, next we have to set our date for our next meeting, and keeping with the fourth Tuesday of the month, I believe that would be October 27th. We'll pencil that in, everyone. Okay, next we need to adjourn for the evening. May we have a motion that we adjourn for the evening?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote is required. Ms. Boucher,
Aye.
Mr. Ballinger,
Aye.
Mr. Cox,
Aye.
Mr. Collins,
Aye.
Mr. Girardi,
Aye.
Mr. Mizikar,
Aye.
Dr. Sawyer,
Aye.
myself, aye. Thank you and good night.
Good night.